Master your speech. Master your life.
Welcome back to The Deep Dive, and a special welcome to you, our listener in the English Communication Club. We know why you're here. You've been hitting a wall, you're doing all the right things, maybe at the gym or with your diet, but that big 2026 goal for personal growth.
Especially with English fluency.
Exactly. It just feels like you're stuck at the starting line.
It's such a classic feeling. We set these huge, inspiring goals, right? I'm going to be fluent by Christmas.
Right.
Or I'll read all of Shakespeare this year.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
But they're so big, they're just intimidating. And when that initial burst of motivation wears off, which it always does, the whole plan just collapses.
And that's the word right there, the plan or the system. I have lots of goals, but I don't think I have a repeatable functional system. So if I can't just rely on pure motivation, what's the other option?
The other option is the core idea behind what we call atomic habits. And the big idea is actually really simple. You stop focusing on that massive endpoint, and instead, you just focus on these tiny, continuous improvements. An atomic habit is like, it's the single smallest part of a bigger system. The building block, not the whole cathedral.
I get the philosophy, I do. But if I'm already struggling to start a big habit, how is forcing myself to do a tiny atomic one really going to move the needle on something like mastering a language? It honestly feels like I'd just be spinning my wheels.
And that's the beautiful trick, you know? It's what our brains just don't see. We miss the surprising math behind these tiny gains. We miss the power of compounding.
The compounding effect.
Exactly. Think about it like this. If you get just 1% better every single day for 1 year, the compound effect means you'll end up nearly 37 times better than where you started.
Wait, 37 times? That's not small. That's revolutionary.
It is. But, and this is the hard part, you have to push through what the source material calls the plateau of latent potential. The plateau of latent potential. For the first few months, maybe even 6, you're making those 1% gains and you feel absolutely nothing. You think it's broken.
Right, because the results aren't there yet.
The results lag behind the effort. But once you break through that plateau, the effect just kicks in exponentially. Habits are basically the compound interest of self-improvement.
So the results aren't the problem at all.
No.
It's the system that creates the results. That's the problem.
Precisely. And that leads us to the most important insight we have to get on the table right now. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
I see that, yeah.
You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Goals, they just set the direction. Fluency is north. But the system, that's your compass. It's the tool that makes sure you actually move toward it every day.
So let's design that system. How do we actually start building these atomic habits right now from scratch?
We start with the foundation of all human behavior. It's a feedback loop that has 4 simple steps: cue, craving, response, and reward. We just turn those 4 steps into 4 laws for building a better system.
Okay, lay out law 1 for us. How do we make the habit of studying English just happen?
Law 1 is, make it obvious.
Yeah.
This is all about the cue. If the cue to start is invisible, the habit never begins. So we have to make the intention to act really, really concrete. And the best way to do that is with what's called an implementation intention.
An implementation intention, why is that so much more powerful than just saying, I'll study more?
Because it completely removes the need for a decision in the moment. You're not relying on motivation, you've preloaded the choice. The formula is just, I will do behavior at time and location.
Ah, so it's super specific.
Super specific. For you, it might be, I will review 5 vocab flashcards at 8 a.m. in my kitchen while the kettle boils. Just writing that down can literally double your chances of actually doing it.
That makes the start almost unavoidable. What else can help with just being aware?
Well, a great starting point is a habit scorecard. You literally just write down everything you do for a day. You'd be shocked at how much is unconscious. And once you see a bad habit, you can use a technique called pointing and calling.
Right. I remember this from the source material. It's what the Japanese railway workers used to cut down on errors, isn't it?
That's the one. It moves a non-conscious behavior into the conscious mind. So if you find yourself reaching for your phone instead of your English textbook, you literally say it out loud.
You just say what you're doing.
You say what you're doing and what the outcome will be. I am about to grab my phone to scroll, and this will stop me from studying English. Just hearing the words adds this huge layer of accountability.
Okay, that's a really practical way to interrupt bad cues. Now, law 2. make it attractive. This is my biggest hurdle. My cravings for, snacks or just relaxing, they're always stronger than my craving to memorize irregular verbs.
Of course they are. We all face that. But the key is to realize you never crave the habit itself. You crave the change in your internal state that the habit brings.
What do you mean?
Well, you don't crave a cigarette. You crave the feeling of relief from stress. You don't crave the workout, you crave the feeling of being strong and healthy afterwards.
Okay. So for English, I need to connect the practice to some immediate good feeling, not the long-term goal of fluency.
Exactly. And the best tool for that is temptation bundling.
Temptation bundling.
You link an action you need to do, like English practice, with an action you want to do, like an indulgence. You stop seeing them as separate things.
Okay, give me a couple of examples for a language learner.
Sure. Think about that engineering student, Ronan Byrne. He loved Netflix but knew he needed to exercise. So he hacked his bike so the Netflix would only play if he was cycling at a certain speed. He bundled them.
He linked the want with the need.
Exactly. So for you, it could be a rule like, I will only listen to my favorite true crime podcast if it's the English language version.
Oh, that's clever.
Or, I will only eat this one specific, really nice snack while I'm using my English writing app. It uses the immediate reward of the snack to reinforce the hard work. It tricks your brain.
I like that. It connects the hard thing with pleasure.
And one last piece on attractiveness is social influence. It's huge. We imitate the habits of the people we're around. So if you want to make English practice attractive, join a group where that behavior is the norm, where it's celebrated.
Like the English Communication Club.
Like the English Communication Club. If you see everyone else succeeding, you'll want to succeed too, just to fit in with your tribe.
All right, on to Law 3. Make it easy. This is where I start to feel like a bit of a failure, honestly. Shouldn't I be grinding for 2 hours a day if I really want this? Doesn't doing just a little bit mean I'm cheating?
That feeling is the enemy of consistency. The core idea here is the law of least effort. We are wired to take the easiest path. Trying to force a 2-hour habit is like trying to push water through a kinked hose.
You can do it, but it takes a ton of pressure.
A ton of unsustainable pressure. Making it easy is just unkinking the hose.
So how do we unkink the hose?
We focus on action, not motion. Motion is researching grammar apps or buying new notebooks. It feels productive, but you get no results. Action is actually speaking or writing. And to guarantee you take action, we use the 2-minute rule.
Right. Any new habit should take less than 2 minutes to start?
Precisely. The goal isn't to finish the chapter. The goal is to master the act of showing up. You ritualize the beginning. So, study English for an hour becomes read 1 page of an English book.
Or open my flashcard app and review 3 words.
That's it. The real win is just getting started. It's about mastering the gateway habit. There's a story in the book about a guy who wanted to lose weight. At first, his only job was to go to the gym for 5 minutes and leave.
That's it.
That's it. He had to master showing up. Because once you're there, once you're in motion, doing more becomes the easy part.
Okay, that feels much more achievable. Now finally, Law 4. Make it satisfying. This is the one. Why do bad habits feel so much better in the moment than good ones?
It's an evolutionary mismatch. We evolved in an immediate return environment. Finding food, getting shelter. The reward was instant.
And now we live in a delayed return world.
We do. If you study English today, the real reward fluency, a better job, that's months or years away. But scrolling on your phone, that's an immediate guaranteed dopamine hit.
So we have to somehow make the good habit feel good right now.
We have to artificially bridge that gap. The cardinal rule of behavior change is this. What is immediately rewarded is repeated. Think about hand washing. In Pakistan, they introduced this premium soap that smelled great and foamed up nicely.
Shower soap, yeah.
And that immediate sensory pleasure, that satisfying feeling, it dramatically reinforced the habit. Compliance went way up.
So for language learning, what's our soap? The reward is so abstract.
Our soap is habit tracking. Just marking an X on a calendar after your 2-minute session. It gives you an immediate visual cue and, more importantly, a little rush of pleasure from recording your success. You don't want to break the chain.
And every single one of those X's is a vote.
A vote for the person you want to become. Exactly.
This framework is so solid. Okay, let's make it super practical for our listener. Let's talk habit stacking. Can you give us 5 specific stacks for learning English?
Absolutely. We'll build them right into a routine that already exists. The formula is simple. After I do my current habit, I will do my new habit.
Lay them on me.
Okay, example 1, the morning routine stack. After I finish brushing my teeth, I will listen to 5 minutes of an English audio drama.
That's great because I never, ever miss brushing my teeth. But 5 minutes, does that feel too short?
Remember the 2-minute rule. The goal is consistency, not intensity. 5 minutes is a win. If you feel good, you can always do 10. But 5 minutes gets you the X on the calendar.
Fair point. What's number 2?
Example 2, the decisive moment stack. When I close my laptop for lunch, I will review my vocab flashcards for 3 minutes. This intercepts you at that fork in the road, right before you might get distracted.
Which I always do. The afternoon scroll is my weakness. Okay, number 3.
Example 3, the environmental cue stack. When the song I am listening to ends, I will say 3 sentences of English aloud, describing the weather outside. It links the habit to a frequent but unpredictable cue.
I love that. It forces spontaneous production. What's 4?
Example 4, the wind-down ritual. Before I climb into bed, I will read 1 page of an English novel. Just 1 page. So easy you can never say no because you're too tired.
And the last one, something that forces me to speak.
Example 5, the kitchen ritual. When I make my coffee in the morning, I will say 3 new English sentences aloud about my plan for the next hour. You're using that 2 minutes of waiting time to practice speaking.
These are great. They make the habit almost automatic. And that brings us to the environment itself. How important is the physical space where you do this?
Oh, it's everything. The environment is the invisible hand shaping your behavior. There was this study in a hospital cafeteria. All they did was move the bottled water next to the food stations.
And what happened?
Soda sales dropped over 11%. Water sales went up by more than 25%. They changed behavior just by changing the environment. No motivation required.
They made the good choice, the obvious, easy choice.
Exactly. And for you, the mantra is, 1 space, 1 use. Do not try to study English on the couch where you watch TV. The cues are mixed. You need a designated spot, even if it's just 1 chair. That is only for language practice.
So the environment can make or break the habit no matter how I feel. But let's say I do all this. I succeed with these small steps. What's the ultimate goal here? What's the highest level of change?
That would be the identity shift. This is the deepest, most powerful level of change. The biggest barrier to changing isn't a lack of knowledge, it's identity conflict. If you secretly believe, I'm just not a language person, you will find a way to sabotage any system you build.
So instead of saying, I want to learn English, which is all about what I'm not yet, what's the alternative?
You embody the identity first.
Yeah.
You stop saying, I want to be fluent, and you start affirming, I am a learner.
I am a learner.
And every time you read that 1 page or review those 3 flashcards, you are casting a vote for that new identity. Every action is a piece of evidence that proves to yourself that you are who you say you are.
That reframes everything. It's not about the result, it's about confirming who I am today. But life happens. What do I do when I miss a day? Because I will. That's usually where I just spiral and give up.
And that's the valley of disappointment trying to pull you back down. But there's one crucial rule here. The most important rule for any streak is never miss twice.
Never miss twice.
Missing once is an accident. It happens. It's just a missed vote. It's not a failure. But missing twice, that's the start of a new bad habit. So if you miss today, your only job is to get back on track tomorrow. Period.
The system protects the identity, and the identity fuels the consistency.
That is the whole game. We've gone from the basic math of 1% gains all the way to building this unbreakable loop with the 4 laws. Whether it's making the cue obvious, the craving attractive, the response easy, or the reward satisfying, you have to remember that these tiny habits are what determine your future self.
So the real goal isn't to reach some far-off finish line. It's just to keep the process running day after day, no matter what.
That's it. And it brings us right back to that core truth that we started with, the one that anchors this whole deep dive. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Focus on the system, and the results will eventually take care of themselves.
A really profound and, more importantly, an actionable blueprint for anyone trying to build mastery. A huge thank you for guiding us through this.
My pleasure. We hope you feel ready now to go out and start casting those votes for the person you want to become.